Well, hello guys. Well, welcome back to my YouTube channel. That is something I definitely did not think I'd be saying anytime soon. But welcome back. It's been a while, hasn't it? I did that classic thing of wanting to start a YouTube channel, getting really up for it, getting really into it, buying on the equipment, and then filming 5 videos, I think, at a push. And yeah, and then I fell off the cliff and life lifed, and I think it's probably been 2.5 years, and here we are. So yeah, I just thought I'd come back on no time like the present, given the circumstances at the moment that we are living in Dubai, just to do a bit of an update, talk about the craziness that's been going on here. Been getting lots of questions. Are we leaving? Are we staying? What are we doing? What's it actually like in Dubai? So I just thought I'd kind of come in here, have a chit chat, have a catch up, and yeah, see how you guys are really. And this is also me stamping my mark on being back on YouTube officially. So I've said it now, I've put it out. So if I don't at least release a video a week, come for me. Come for me, because it's just that twice. Once is like, okay, but like failing at it twice, it's a bit embarrassing really on my behalf, isn't it? So it's kind of like, right, this is it now. We're gonna be back. But yeah, I mean, do you know what the irony is? I was actually planning to do a bit of a catch-up video because I kind of made my mind up about 2 months ago that I wanted to start it again. Little did I think it would be a catch-up on the conflict that we are currently caught up in Dubai. I don't really like to use the buzzwords like war zone because if I'm completely honest, if I can still get a pizza delivered in half an hour and I can get Diet Coke on tap, then I don't really feel like I'm living in a war zone. I mean, it technically it is what's happening, but yeah, it's a very, very strange reality we are living in at the moment. That's the only way I can explain it. It's like pockets of normality, and like 1 minute you'll feel absolutely fine, and then the next minute your missile alert goes off on your phone and it's like your whole day just like stops, and then you panic, and then am I hearing anything? Are there any bangs? Like it's kind of like normality comes in like waves, but then also so does like extreme anxiety like within the same day. So like today, for example, I've had a very normal day, and yet you just don't know when that next missile alert's going to go off. We had an alert this morning at like 6 a.m. and some giant bangs, and don't get me wrong, that first weekend when it all started, it was rough because I think we had no idea or no understanding as to like what was actually happening. So those first times we were hearing those booms, which are the interceptions of the missiles, I had no understanding that was what's going on. So like all you're knowing is that there are missiles being fired at Dubai, and you're hearing giant booms that make your windows and your doors shake, and like you feel it like in your soul. That's the only way I can describe it. It's like remember the first one, Ant wasn't actually here, and I was on the sofa with Jack, and we both, I'm not joking you, jumped out of our skin. And then, and then we started getting like these alerts at like 2 a.m, followed by like boom, boom, boom. And you're just there like, what is going on? Now with hindsight, obviously we're so lucky to be so well protected by everyone up there on the ground, like everyone that is working to protect us, to intercept the missiles and the drones. Like I think we've had now, I don't want to quote numbers because I might get it wrong, but nearly like 2,000 missiles and drones have been fired at the UAE within the past it's 3 weeks tomorrow it started. And it's crazy how quickly it becomes your normality. And looking at the rest of what's going on in the region, we are so lucky to be in such a safe place. Now, this whole safe thing is really, it became quite a thing on social media to say whether you felt safe or whether you didn't feel safe. And then it became like shaming the people that said they didn't feel safe. And then it became like, oh, the people that are saying they're safe, they're idiots. And I think where that comes from is there is a large trust in the UAE government that they are doing everything that they can to keep us safe. And that is where this whole, like the safe term, and it's kind of like the war of the Brits in Dubai and the Brits in Britain came from. It was such a weird couple of days, those first few days. And social media was a really awful, toxic place because as well as people that, you know, there are so many awful things happening in our region. There are millions, over a million now, people have been displaced in Lebanon. And they get displaced and then they're told, go and leave your homes within the night because we're going to bomb them. And then they get told to go somewhere and then they're bombing those sites. It's like Gaza all over again. And it's just like there are thousands of people dying in Iran, in Lebanon, you know, in Gaza. There are so many people losing their lives in this. And so then when it comes to, you know, the tit for tat on social media, it's just like, that's heavy. And we feel that as heavy because at the end of the day, like, we're in the Middle East and they are our neighbours, and Dubai is like the most amazing place for being so multicultural. So like there are so many people from so many different walks of life, from different countries, from different regions of the world, different areas. And I think that's what makes Dubai such an incredible place. It also means people deal with things very, very differently because for myself, for example, I have been extremely privileged to not have to grow up with any form of conflict in the UK. I haven't been privy to missiles, drones, you know, evacuations. Like I've been so lucky. And yet there are people that, you know, I work with or people that I know or friends of mine that have grown up with this. You know, look at Ukraine, Russia, the rest of them in Lebanon, Iraq, like lots of areas of the world have unfortunately had this as almost like of a way of life. And it's only now do I feel the gravity of how intense that is. And I know it sounds really naive to say like, oh yeah, obviously because you're like, you know, people in war, then of course it's intense, but like just the day-to-day anxiety. And bearing in mind we are so well protected here, so we are not going around thinking today's going to be our last day. Don't get me wrong, is there a level of anxiety and is my nervous system shot and do I jump at the sound of anything? And you know, there are so many things, but you know, am I scared for my life? No, because the chances of something happening are, fingers crossed, pretty low. But do I feel safe? I'll be perfectly honest. As long as I'm getting alerts on my phone that there are missiles overhead, I don't feel safe. But yeah, all that being said, I know they are doing such an incredible job. And to be honest, every time I now get an alert, I just think of those people that are working day and night, that have been working through Ramadan. They've been fasting, you know, it's the holy month, and they are literally doing an incredible job to make sure that we are as safe as we can be. And it's those people that, you know, you've got to really think about, and it's the people in much worse affected areas. But so that's why day-to-day life is kind of going ahead. And that's also another thing, going back to the fact that it's so multicultural. It means people really deal with things in different ways. For example, me, the first few days, I freaked out. I went into a hole. I was just a mess. Like I didn't leave the house. I didn't want to go outside. But then you've got some of my Lebanese friends and colleagues that for them, this has been something they've grown up with. So for them, it's like, we have to carry on, because if we shut the country down every time this happened to us, or if we, you know, stopped life every time this happened, we would never have a life and we'd never go on. And that was wild. And I was like, one of my friends said, see, he was like, Ish, this is why we have to continue, because we can't just pause. Like we can't pause our lives. And that's where the whole kind of contrast of like people living normally and some people finding it much more difficult has kind of come in, as opposed to it being like this propaganda that people are putting out, this like fake narratives that they feel so fine and they feel so safe. It's like people that have come from Lebanon do feel safe in comparison to if they were in Lebanon right now, or if they were in Iran right now, or if they were anywhere else in the world. So again, it's like, this is where this kind of weird safe narrative has come from. And I think that's why people deal with things very differently. I still freak out. I'm not going to lie. Anthony is as cool as a cucumber. Wait to kind of hit here. But it's weird because it comes with so many other things. So like when you hear these bangs, everyone's checking in on each other on their phones. Everyone's then on social media finding out like, has anything been hit? Has anything been, you know, so it comes with a whole kind of like, and because a lot of the strikes are happening at night, our sleep's quite affected, just because, I mean, ask Anthony, he's literally, his alert goes off and then he goes back, well, checks him right and then falls back to sleep. But me, I sort of lay there, like the alert goes off still, and I lay there until we get the all clear. So we get a missile alert saying there's a warning missiles have been detected in the airspace, to basically shelter somewhere, so that essentially it's not you are going to get hit by a missile, it's there's a potential that when we shoot this missile out the sky, there's going to be debris and that could fall, which is why it's better to be in a place that is sheltered so that that debris does not hit directly on you, is essentially what it is. So then that happens, my heart goes, and then you lie there, then maybe you hear bangs, maybe you hear interceptions, maybe you don't, and then you wait basically until you get like the all clear that like we've dealt with the situation, thank you for your cooperation, you can move on. But then after that, I don't just go back to sleep. I'm texting people, I'm texting my sister, I'm texting, you know, my friends, is everybody okay? Oh my God, that was a big one. Did you hear that? Like this kind of chatter goes back and forth, and then you check social media, and then you check the news to see like, has anything been hit? And so there's kind of a constant, and when that's happening like 3 times a night, you know, you do wake up in the morning and you think, wow, that was a, I wouldn't say sleepless night, but you know, not ideal sleep. But so yeah, it's been like, I'd say my nervous system is fried, and it's, you know, it will be the best day in the world when this is over, let's put it that way, for everybody's sake, you know, for everybody's sake. But people keep asking, are we leaving? Are we leaving? Are we leaving? And the answer to that question is possibly. We are thinking about going to Bali or Thailand mainly for a couple of weeks. A lot of my work has stopped. The majority of my work has stopped. My sister is online teaching. So that's done from a laptop. Anthony, my partner, his work is done from a laptop. And so we kind of just thought, do you know what, if we can get away from here, just to kind of reset the nervous system, have a bit of a break. Because the first like week and a half, I found it really difficult to like focus on anything. Like I was trying to do content, and I wasn't in any kind of state, you know, with things going on. I just couldn't concentrate, and I just was very unproductive, in a bit of a hole. All I could do was just watch Netflix to like numb my brain. So we decided a couple of days ago that we were going to go to Thailand, just for more of like a break, and then praying that this kind of blows over, as opposed to like evacuating. Because life is day by day here at the moment. It's kind of like making a plan is fine, but then your ticket might get cancelled, or something might happen, or the airspace might close, or the airport might, you know, so it's everything is kind of day by day. But our kind of rough plan is that we're going to look at it in a week and a half's time, and if nothing has changed, the schools are still online learning, my work is still non-existent, then we are going to look just to kind of have a bit of a break from, and just a bit of a reset, and just breathe, and you know, just because it's a lot, but we are fine, and you have a nice time there, Jax. And obviously I've got this little one, so leaving and just upping and leaving is not an option. And you know what, upping and leaving is absolutely not what we want to do. And we're now in a new phase of like, okay, so what does the future hold for Dubai? Obviously this is going to massively affect tourism. My job is it's not tourism related, but it is, you know, within the hospitality industry technically. So hospitality, tourism, entertainment, they all kind of interlink. So it's like, is that going to come back, or are we going to now be quiet until kind of the season starts again in October, which is potentially what people are thinking. But again, nobody really knows. And what we do know is that Dubai will do everything it can to bounce back. And it's really sad. It's really sad that this is happening, because, you know, the thought of having to, you know, uproot. So many people now are like, oh my goodness, am I uprooting my life? Like, you know, not out of choice, but out of like perhaps necessity. And I mean, personally, that's not something that we want to do. All of my work is here. You know, I've been here for 8 years at the end of this month. So I guess it's just day by day. We will see. And yeah, we are fine. We are fine. It's been a crazy couple of weeks. And again, the update. Cheers. The update that I wanted to do was be more about like, oh, since we last spoke, I've moved house, I've got a cat, and now it's like, okay, so I'm in a war zone. And it's also wild because we had really bad flooding a couple of weeks ago, and we're due to have really bad flooding again this weekend. So yeah, I don't think I can do with missiles, but missiles whilst my house is flooding, I'd really, give me a break. I'd love a break, just a little bit of a break. Because yeah, that happened in April 2024, and we actually had to move out of our apartment, and I lost my car, and our whole place flooded, and that was a whole other thing. So please keep your fingers crossed that is not going to happen this time, because yeah, I think that would just finish me off completely. I'm like, one day I'm like this, I'm wearing makeup, the next day I'm not, and I'm in a hole, but I tell you what, it's getting me through. Maths Australia, 10 out of 10. Guys, it is 10 out of 10. I'm absolutely loving it. So yeah, there's a little update as to what we're doing. It's kind of day by day, but we are okay. Like I say, 2 days ago I was at a beach club, and then I come home in the evening, and then we have 3 missile alerts. So it's such a, like, for my brain, it's just such like a juxtaposition of like wild anxiety, and then living normally, and then anxiety, and then, but yeah, but we are all right, and fingers crossed we will bounce back from this, but we're just all praying for peace at the moment, and yeah, we'll take each day as it comes, but the day I don't have to hear that missile alarm ever again, oh my God, that will be an amazing day. An amazing day. So for now, we're just trying to stay positive, trying to stay productive on the days that we can, and just hopefully that this is a blip, and just, you know, sending love to the rest of the region who need it way more than us right now, because there are some horrific things happening, and just, yeah, praying that this kind of comes to some end pretty soon. But yeah, that's my update, guys. Like and subscribe, and I'll be back with you next week with another update. If you have any questions, let me know. Leave them down there or drop me a DM. And yeah, I'd love to answer any more questions anyone's got on Dubai. I know it's a hot, trending topic at the moment because it's technically a war zone. How do you feel about that? Anyway, thanks for all being here. And if you got to this point in the video, well done, because I've just babbled for 20 minutes. But yeah, love always, and I'll speak to you soon.